Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Michaela Tamagi, and I am the University of Calgary Student Recruitment Advisor for students living in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Today, I'm here just as a general recruitment advisor, though, to share a bit about the transfer admissions process and a bit about the overall picture of what University of Calgary has to offer. So welcome to Open House 2021. We're really excited that you're able to join us in a digital format. And without further ado, I hope that you really enjoyed today's presentation. Before I get started, I always like to spend a moment just talking about the fact that University of Calgary is committed to being an inclusive environment. We are committed to removing barriers that are encountered by equity-deserving groups, including women, Indigenous peoples, visible racialized minorities, persons with disabilities, and LGBTQ+ students. If you are looking to learn more about this policy, please feel free to visit our website, ucalgary.ca/equity-diversity-inclusion. All right, so chances are if you are here, you might be a student in a different country, maybe a different province. If you're in Canada, I'm sorry for this, but it's always a good reminder to talk about how amazing Canada is. For those of you who are not overly familiar with Canada, it's important for you to know that Canada has actually been ranked the #1 country for quality of life in the entire world. And that is largely due to the fact that we have such an incredible reputation for being very safe, stable, and friendly. There's also a number of great advantages to consider as an incoming international student. So one of those great advantages being that if you are a full-time student on a valid study permit, you are able to work up to 20 hours per week, and that could be on or off campus. And then another great advantage is that if you are a graduate from a post-secondary institution in Canada, you're actually eligible to receive a work permit to stay in the country for up to 3 more years after you graduate. So here we have a map showing how large Canada is geographically. We're actually the 2nd largest geographic country in the entire world. A fun fact that I like to share is that it's about a 12-hour drive from Calgary to Vancouver, but it actually takes almost 48 hours to get from Calgary to Toronto. So again, a very large country. If you are a student who's interested in transferring to the University of Calgary and you're keen to explore other parts of the country while you're with us, I would just highly recommend booking a flight as the drive time is quite extreme. So looking at the province of Alberta now, Alberta is the amazing province in which the University of Calgary is located. There are a number of really amazing things to note about Alberta. One of the main things to be aware of is that we are the only province in Canada that does not have a provincial sales tax. That means that the cost of living here is relatively affordable in comparison to a number of the other provinces around us. Alberta is also a province that is packed full of things to see and do. So we do have 5 of Canada's national parks, and we also have 8 of Canada's UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Located about an hour west of the University of Calgary are the world famous Rocky Mountains, which you see pictured on the right-hand side of the slide. These mountains are incredibly beautiful in picture format, but they're even more beautiful in person. There's plenty of opportunities for adventure within these mountains and surrounding area to Calgary. So if you were at all an outdoor enthusiast, Calgary and Alberta in general is going to be a really incredible destination for you. Looking specifically at the city of Calgary now. So the city of Calgary has actually been ranked the 5th most livable city in the entire world. And #1 in North America. I think the reason that this city has such an incredible ranking is largely due to the fact that there's something here for everyone. If you are a student who's interested in knowing about the employment opportunities once you graduate, as I know that this is sometimes a huge kind of like deal breaker for students as far as where they attend university, you'll be happy to know that there are a number of incredible opportunities available once you graduate. Calgary is currently home to the highest concentration of high-tech workers in Canada. So if you are a student who's interested in transferring into a program like computer science or engineering, this is going to be a great destination for you. We're also number 2 in Canada for the most small businesses. So again, if you're a student interested in commerce or you're an entrepreneurial type of person with a great business idea, again, a great city for you. My personal favorite thing about Calgary has to be the lifestyle and the weather, believe it or not. In Calgary, we actually experience 4 distinct seasons. So you will experience fall, winter, spring, and summer. Each season has its own array of unique activities. I think my overall thing about the weather in Calgary, though, is that we experience so much sun. We're actually the sunniest major city in the entire country. I find that the sunny days make for a very beautiful backdrop to our city, and also is a really great thing for my mental health and the mental health of a lot of Calgarians. So looking at the University of Calgary specifically, University of Calgary has been ranked amongst the world's top secondary institutions. We're actually in the top 250 universities in the world, and we're also in the top 6 for Canadian research universities. As a research-focused university, this means that there are opportunities for students to engage with research in every faculty. Even if you're a student who's never considered doing your own research, it's still a really good thing to consider the fact that research-driven universities, the professors are going to be experts in their field, and they're going to be able to deliver you experiences and knowledge that is incredibly timely and relevant to what is going on in today's world. The University of Calgary campus is rather large, as you can see. So here's an aerial shot of our beautiful main campus. It's located in the quite centrally within Calgary. So we're actually in the northwest quadrant, about 10 minutes to the downtown core. Our campus is home to 28,000 undergraduate students, but despite the fact that we are a large university with a big population, I feel we're really able to maintain somewhat of a small campus feel. I'm going to get into how we do that in a couple of slides, but just know that there's a ton of support available to you as a student and some amazing amenities that you get access to. If you are interested in learning more about the amenities that we have available, as well as seeing more of a 360 view of some of these incredible buildings, I would just encourage you to scan the QR code on the bottom right of the slide. And this will allow you to see a little bit closer up some of the amazing amenities that we do have. All right, so before I talk about the specifics of the academic programs that we offer, I always like to talk a little bit about the experience of being one of our students. Now, I know as a transfer student, you won't necessarily be starting in your first year. Maybe you're a bit older and you're not really looking for that typical first year experience. I think there's something here at University of Calgary for everyone in terms of student experience. We have a number of amazing events, as well as different ways to get involved in leadership and volunteering initiatives, and also a wide variety of student clubs. So again, regardless of the age you are or the year of a program that you might be transferring into, I think clubs and just the student experience in general is for everyone. At the University of Calgary, we actually offer over 300 student clubs. So these are a great way to get connected to other University of Calgary students and to really start developing your community on our campus. We offer clubs for a variety of different areas. So if you're interested in joining a club based on a specific hobby or interest, you can do that. We have clubs for things like hiking, board games, photography, and much more. We also have clubs for things like academics and also for clubs for students from different faith and spirituality groups and different nationalities. I personally think that as a transfer student, you sometimes have to make a bit more effort to get integrated into the community since you might have missed the first year. And so just keeping in mind that clubs can be an excellent way to do that. So University of Calgary is also home to the Dinos. Now the Dinos is our university mascot. Anybody who attends University of Calgary is welcomed into the Dinos family. But the Dinos is also the name for our varsity sports teams. Varsity sports are basically sports that are played at a competitive level. So if you are an athlete and you are looking to play sports competitively, I would just encourage you to go to godinos.com, as this will be the first step in getting connected to our coaches who will walk you through the process of trying out for the teams and also give you some information about the athletic scholarships that are available. Again, if you are looking for ways to get involved in our community, as you weren't here for the first year and you're kind of looking to make up lost time, I would highly recommend attending some Dinos games. Our university is very athletically driven and focused. We tend to do very well in our athletics. So it can be a very fun thing to check out some of these competitive sports matches. And again, a great way to show that UCalgary spirit. If you are someone who is active, as an athletic-focused university, we do have a number of amenities that allow our students to get and stay active. Research does show that students who are more active are more likely to do better in their courses, so I'd highly encourage you to utilize some of these amazing amenities if you are interested. Some of the amazing amenities that we have available in terms of active living include a Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center. We have the Olympic Oval here on campus, so that is basically the skating rink that was built for the 1988 Olympics in Calgary. That's located right here on campus, and you get to skate for free during designated hours at UCalgary. We also have the Outdoor Center, which is the largest collection of outdoor equipment and the largest center of its kind in North America. So again, if you're a student who's looking to pursue some outdoor hobbies, maybe try some different things and enjoy those beautiful Rocky Mountains that we have nearby, you can rent almost anything you can think of through this Outdoor Center. There's also a variety of activities to consider getting involved with, such as intramural teams, fitness classes, and sports clubs. So if you're maybe not a competitive athlete, but you do want to play a sport, or again, use intramurals or something like that as a way to meet other students, we have so many different options for you. If you're looking to make University of Calgary even more of your home, you might want to consider living on campus with us. Living on campus is a really great option for students who are considering attending University of Calgary, and maybe you're going to be coming here from a different country or out of province, or even transferring from a different university in Calgary. You just want to have that residence experience. We have a variety of double and single rooms available to our incoming students. There's also a meal plan that is available. So if you are interested in learning more, make sure you're reaching out. I know for myself, when I attended university, I did live on campus for nearly 4 years, and it was an incredibly fun experience and one of the best ways that I found to meet other students. All right, so earlier I mentioned that the University of Calgary is a large campus with a large student population, but we're really able to maintain somewhat of a small campus feel. And that's largely due to the fact that we have an amazing array of student supports that are available. When I was starting university, I had no idea that a number of these supports even existed. And so I'd highly encourage you just to educate yourself a little bit and find out if there's a support that you might be needing to utilize, and reach out to them if you ever need anything. International Student Services will be a really important one for our incoming transfer students who are looking to transfer to University of Calgary. They can provide a lot of support for things like the study permit application, and they'll also host a variety of social and sightseeing trips throughout the academic year, which will hopefully help you to meet other students who are in a similar position as you. All of these supports are incredible, but the other one that I'm going to highlight for you today is the Student Success Center. So Student Success Center is a great team to reach out to for support with things like writing, with studying skills. They'll do peer-led study sessions, and a wide variety of other things in that nature. As a transfer student, you probably have experience with studying and just post-secondary in general, but that doesn't mean that you might not require some academic interventions at different times. So please know that that team is there for you, and we would be more than happy to connect you to them and give you that support through that avenue. All right, so transitioning now into the academic life here at UCalgary. I know that if you're considering applying to University of Calgary and transferring into one of our programs, it's likely because you've heard that we have such an incredible reputation and that so many of our faculties are very highly rated. University of Calgary has been ranked amongst the world's top post-secondary institutions, so we are in the top 250 universities in the world, and we're also in the top 6 for Canadian research universities. As an institution, our goals are very focused on being research focused, on creating problem solvers, critical thinkers, creative thinkers, people who are entrepreneurial, and also providing experiential learning opportunities wherever we can. Now, we have these 8 faculties available for students who are applying from high school. However, as a transfer applicant, we also have a faculty of social work that you could potentially gain access to. Within these faculties, there's going to be over 250 program combinations. So there is a little bit of everything here at UCalgary. Again, chances are as a transfer student, you know exactly what you're looking to apply into, but perhaps you're undecided and you want to see what we have available. I would just encourage you to check out our website or our student view book, and this will give you a good sampling of what it is exactly that we offer. When I say that we have over 250 program combinations, what I mean by that is that you are able to apply directly into a program of interest. We also have the option for you to customize your degree by doing a minor in an upper year, an embedded certificate in an upper year, or also applying into a combined degree program. So combined degrees basically mean that you would earn 2 degrees in 5 years, whereas a normal program would take 4 years. Again, as a transfer student, those timelines might look a little bit different depending on how much transfer credit you would be awarded, but we can talk about that in more detail, maybe through email or through a private one-on-one meeting. If you're looking for other ways that we can customize your degree here at UCalgary and really make a unique experience for you, you would probably be happy to know that we have a number of work integrated learning opportunities. Now, if you're a student who's looking to complete a degree in nursing or education or kinesiology, there are going to be a number of practicum opportunities that are actually built into your degree requirements. Practicums can be an incredible way to gain hands-on experience and to really start developing meaningful connections that will be valuable to you once you graduate. I'm personally a graduate from the Workland School of Education, so I actually transferred into that program, so I know exactly what it's like to be a transfer student to the University of Calgary. I had to complete a number of practicums throughout my degree, and I found that they were an incredibly useful way to gain skills that were very, very useful to me as a teacher once I was done my degree. Now, if you're a student who is in the Faculty of Arts, Commerce, Engineering, or Science, we will have co-op and internship placements available to you. Co-ops and internships are basically going to be paid work experience. They do not count towards degree requirements, but they're a really great way to add value to your degree, to make some money while you're going to school, and again, to really help develop those connections that will be valuable once you graduate. Our study abroad program can be another great way to enhance your education here at UCalgary. These are available to students who are starting the degrees from scratch with us or who are transferring into programs. So you as a transfer student would be eligible. We have opportunities available in more than 45 countries. So there is a ton of different variety and a lot of unique experiences and adventures to be had. I think that by considering study abroad, you kind of get the best of both worlds, and that you would be able to have a Canadian education, but also an adventure in a different, an entirely different place and somewhere that might be really exciting to you. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's talk about how you can actually apply to the University of Calgary and become one of our students. The first thing to know is that the application to transfer to fall 2022 is currently open. It opened on October 1st, and the application is going to remain open until March 1st of 2022. Now, before we can evaluate you for any of our programs, you are required to do a few different things to receive that evaluation. So the first thing is going to be that you have to pay an application fee. It's $125 for students with Canadian credentials, and it's $145 for students with international credentials. Once you have done this, you'll get access to a student center where you can upload the required documents. So we will be asking for a combination of your proof of English language proficiency, your high school documents, as well as your university transcript. You won't be able to upload your university transcript right away if you're doing courses for fall 2021, but I'm going to explain the timeline of when you can provide that in just a couple of slides. Now, when you apply to the University of Calgary, you are able to select a first and second choice on your application. The first program should be the one that you absolutely want to transfer into the most, whereas the second program should be something that is of interest, but that has a slightly lower competitive GPA. All students who apply to University of Calgary are required to satisfy English language proficiency, and that is simply because the language of instruction here at UCalgary is academic English. The first way, and this is the way that a number of our Canadian students are going to be meeting this requirement, is to complete 3 years with English as the primary language of instruction, and that has to be at a high school that is accredited to offer Canadian, British, or American curriculum. The second, and this is the most common way for students who are international, is to present one of the scores required in an acceptable English language test. So something like an IELTS or a TOEFL would be appropriate. Now, for students who are in post-secondary, if you have done 2 years of post-secondary in an ELP exempt country, we would also be able to look at waiving that English language requirement. But I would ask that you refer to our website to see if you are ELP exempt, and also to email us with any questions or if you have any concerns about whether you might be eligible for that. All right, so let's talk about the transfer admission criteria. If you are using our Explore Programs website, just a friendly reminder to please be sure that you are selecting the transfer admission requirements. A reminder that every student who is currently in post-secondary, or you will have completed 4 or more courses by the end of fall 2021, you will be considered a transfer student and evaluated using the transfer admission criteria. Now, admission into programs as a transfer student is based on a few different factors that are program and faculty specific. For the most part, we're going to be looking for you to present either high school courses or post-secondary courses, or maybe both in some situations. And then we're also going to be looking at your GPA from some of your more recent coursework. So I mentioned a few slides back that I was going to talk about when you can actually provide your post-secondary transcripts. So this is applicable for students who are actually going to be completing coursework at a different university for fall 2021. Basically, your evaluation as a transfer student will be based on your coursework from fall 2021 and back. And so we're actually not going to allow you to upload a transcript until you have the course marks for that course available. The earliest you would be able to provide that transcript would be January 1st, 2022. And then the deadline for providing that transcript and to be guaranteed an early evaluation is going to be February 1st. You really want to be sure to get that transcript in on time. A lot of the programs are going to be filling up a little bit later in the spring, and so it's such a good idea just to get that to us as soon as you can. The absolute deadline for providing a transcript would be March 15th, but again, just keeping February 1st in mind, that is kind of the deadline for when we would want to receive your transcript. All right, so looking at the GPA calculation for transfer admission. So I mentioned that we're looking at fall 2021 and back for your GPA calculation. We're actually going to be looking at your most recent 30 units, which is typically 10 academic courses. And again, that is as of the end of fall 2021. If you have slightly less than 10 courses, just note that we'll use whatever you have available, assuming that it's 4 or more. If you're less than 4 courses, that's when we refer to your high school marks. If you're a student who has done, say, 16 courses, again, we're just looking at the 10 most recent, and that is as of the end of fall 2021. I just wanted to walk through a couple of examples of different transfer requirements for different programs, because this will vary quite a bit depending on the program you're applying into. For the vast majority of our programs, the transfer admission criteria are quite simple. The arts program is being a really great example of this. So here we have the Faculty of Arts, the political science degree. If you are a student looking to transfer into this program, we're only going to be looking to see that you can present your grade 12 English. If you don't have grade 12 English, we can also use a post-secondary English course to satisfy that requirement. And then we're basically just calculating your admission average, again, based on those 10 most recent courses. There will always be an estimated GPA posted on our website. So for this program, we're estimating that students would probably need to be about a 2.6 to a 3.0 or higher in order to gain admission. Now, there are a few programs here at UCalgary where the requirements are admittedly a little bit more complicated, but that's why we have the amazing recruitment team that we do. We're here to support you with understanding what the requirements are. The School of Business, so the Haskayne School of Business, the Schulich School of Engineering, and the Faculty of Nursing are really great examples of programs that are going to have slightly more complicated admission requirements, and the requirements are going to be based mostly on post-secondary. So here we have an example for the Haskayne School of Business. In order to transfer into the Haskayne School of Business, there's actually going to be 6 post-secondary courses that are required. So you can see that there is a post-secondary English course that is required. There is a math course that we're looking for. We need 2 different statistics courses and 2 economics courses. The estimated competitive GPA for this program is actually going to fall between a 3.0 and a 3.4 or higher. And again, that is an estimate of what we're looking for. Now you might be wondering, if you're attending a different university, your courses probably have very different names, from Math 249, for example, or Stat 213. This is where it gets kind of tricky, in that we don't actually do a pre-evaluation. And so students who are attending different universities and looking to potentially transfer to University of Calgary into one of these specific programs, the best that we can refer you to is our course descriptions page. You can read the description for the course that we're asking for and try your best to match your current coursework to that. Now, if you're a student who is studying out of Canada, we are definitely less familiar with the courses that you're taking. And so when you apply for admission, you will also have to provide a course outline from your institution, and we'll put that course outline forward for an assessment. And that's basically what is going to determine whether or not the courses you've taken are equivalent. A really good idea to refer to our Explore Programs website to see what your specific transfer requirements are, and of course to reach out to us if you have any questions. Okay, so let's look at the tuition fees that you can expect to pay as an incoming transfer student. I would just encourage you to scan the QR code on the bottom left of the screen. This will take you to our undergraduate student cost estimator, and you'll be able to see an estimate of what your program specific fees are. For domestic students, we're estimating that the average is around 6,000 Canadian dollars, whereas for international students, it's a bit closer to 23,000 Canadian. And this would be the cost based on 10 courses throughout the academic year. The cost of living, you should budget probably around an additional $12,000 or so, and that would cover the cost of books, supplies, cost of living, so rent, food, all of that good stuff. If you have done any research into Canadian post-secondaries or universities in the UK or United States, you're going to find that University of Calgary's tuition is relatively affordable. Of course, it's still an investment in your future, but please keep in mind that affordability combined with the fact that we're a highly recognized and respected university, those two things are kind of the best of both worlds. Now, as far as you might be wondering, as a transfer student, I don't really know what year of my program I'm going to fall into. The first thing we really need to focus on is seeing whether you can actually satisfy the transfer admission requirements. Once you're admitted into the university, we begin the process of reviewing what year of your program you're going to fall into. So that essentially means how much transfer credit are you going to receive from your former institution. Based on the year that you were assigned, that is kind of going to determine how much time you have remaining in your program and how much the degree would ultimately cost you here at UCalgary. All right, so I've given you a ton of information to think about today. I hope that it was helpful, but I wanted just to recap really quickly 5 of our top reasons to choose UCalgary. There's a million good reasons, but I will just cover these 5 reasons quickly. So number 1, excellence in academics. We have been ranked amongst the world's top post-secondary institutions, and we do have a ton of program options available. So please keep those things in mind. Number 2, research opportunities. We're in the top 6 for Canadian research universities, and just a ton of different exposure to research and high quality professors and instruction. Number 3, a caring community. As a transfer student, you are going to be needing a community to help you get integrated into the UCalgary way of life a little bit faster. So please just know that we have a ton of amazing supports, as well as a variety of clubs and different ways to get involved as a student. Number 4, the opportunity to earn while you learn. Please don't forget about that competitive, an amazing co-op and internship program. And number 5, an adventurous lifestyle. So we are located only an hour away from the world famous Rocky Mountains. These Rocky Mountains are incredibly beautiful and can be an amazing backdrop to your post-secondary studies. If you're looking for more support after today's event, I just wanted to quickly introduce the national recruitment team as well as our international recruitment team. So here at UCalgary, we provide regional support to all of our students. These advisors are well equipped with resources to support high school students as well as transfer students. So please feel free to reach out to one of us directly. If you do search Meet the Team, University of Calgary on Google, you will be taken to a page that will introduce you to who your specific recruiter would be, and they will be more than happy to assist you with any questions that you might have. Here is the international team. So as you can see, I'm the recruiter for Southeast Asia and the Middle East, and we have 5 other team members who are more than happy to support you or any of our international students who are looking to transfer to UCalgary. There's also going to be a variety of faculty information nights as well as webinars that you might want to check out. If you're interested in registering for any of these, please scan the QR code and that will take you to a really useful page. And yeah, it'll be a great way just to learn a bit more in depth about what each faculty offers and the unique opportunities that are available to you as a student. All right, that is it for me today. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining. I hope that the information was clear. If you do have follow-up questions, our email is future.students@ucalgary.ca. We will be more than happy to assist you in whatever way works for you. But again, thank you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your open house.